Today on UV Design Tips and Tricks, we talk about my favorite Google product, Tag Manager. So today we're going to talk about one of my favorite products Google has to offer, and that's Tag Manager. Tag Manager is a great product that's absolutely free and that can benefit you and your business immensely. What it does basically is you embed two pieces of code onto your website, and then in one central location, Tag Manager, you're able to deploy multiple codes to your website and easily manage it from one centralized location. And what I mean by that is you're able to embed Google Analytics, Facebook Pixel, Google Tag Manager. You're able to set up tracking for YouTube inside your analytics a lot better, and a lot of other e-commerce tracking codes, all these other tracking devices to collect data from your website and to push data to other platforms. Instead of embedding all these different types of code onto your website, you just embed the one Google Tag Manager code and you use Google Tag Manager to deploy it to your website. If that doesn't make a lot of sense, maybe right now, if you're not familiar with it, but what we're going to do is have a 4-week course that kind of goes over how to deploy Tag Manager and use it to your benefit. So what today we're going to do is how to set up Tag Manager and how to get the basics started. All right, so let's get started. So what we're going to do is if you just Google Tag Manager, and I can't even spell it correctly today, but that's all right. You're going to click on the first one. And here's all the different products that Google has to offer, Analytics, Tag Manager, Optimize, Data Studio, a lot of things, a lot of services and products they offer. So we're just going to sign into your Google account. And this will bring up Tag Manager. Now, if you don't have it set up yet, you're just going to go through a basic setup, and basically what it's going to look like is, I'll show you here in 1 second. Create account. You're going to go through these steps. An account name is the overall account that you're going to use. If you're just one business, go ahead and just call it your business name, and then what country you're located in. Let's see here. Whoops. Account would be like this. How I have it labeled as apartments, assisted living, Farley Speedway promotions. So these are different properties or businesses that I manage for their analytics and digital marketing. So these are all the different apartment complexes. These are all the different assisted living facilities, and this is its own Farley Speedway. So you would create an account. You can call it whatever you want. And let's just call it my website. Actually, let's just call it what we're going to call it, Windsor Park. And this is now going to be the container name. Usually it's easy if you just name it the website name. So just copy the website. Can't have the HTTP in there or /. And then this is type of container it is. Is it a website? Is it an iOS app, an Android app, or is it an AMP website? So whatever type of application or platform you're going to be using, we're going to choose that. This is a website. We're going to go ahead and hit create. Here's our terms of service. Check it out if you want to. We're going to hit accept and go to yes. And here are the two pieces of code that you need to deploy onto your website. So there are different ways to do this. If you're not familiar how to do this, you might have to get a hold of your web developer, whoever created your website. They can do it for you. For my websites, for most of my WordPress websites that I build for people, I use Divi. It's a theme from Elegant Themes. And let's see here. And so it actually it's pretty cool. It has an integration piece built into it. So if you look at the code, it says paste this code as high in the head as possible, head container. So we're just going to copy this, and inside the Divi theme, add code to the head of your blog. So this will deploy this piece of code on every single page it has a header, which would be every single page. And then on the second one, additional paste the code immediately after the opening body tag. And right here it says add code to the body tag, good for tracking codes such as Google Analytics. We're going to use it for Tag Manager. So basically what this is doing is this is referencing back to Google Tag Manager with your specific tracking code. This is it right here. It's kind of going to be grayed out so you don't know my entire code, but basically Google Tag Manager, and then the specific tag that references what you have set up in here, so it knows how to communicate between here to your website. So I'll go ahead, save this here, and now we have Tag Manager. It's going to be deployed on every single page. You can actually do this just to verify it. You can open up a browser window, incognito, view the page source, Control F, tag. Let's see, it should be technically, see how it's already, look, Google Tag Manager, and there's the code. So Tag Manager code is being deployed to my website. It's not doing anything because I haven't told Tag Manager to do anything quite yet, but this is just to kind of prove it's on my website right now, or my client's website actually. So go ahead and hit OK. If you ever need to get that code again, you would just go up here to admin and install Google Tag Manager. Click on here, and here's the code again for you. So here we have the workspace. This is going to be pretty similar to, well, actually, this layout is not really similar to any other layout Google's deployed lately. So we're just going to kind of go over a couple things. Tags are the variables. I can't see the word variables because they're down here, but tags are what's being deployed. All right, so you have Workspace Versions and Admin. Admin, this is going to be similar to Google Analytics kind of admin. Here's the main container, and then here's the main account, and then here's the container. So if you had multiple containers, different, basically, my other one said assisted living right here. Here'd be all my assisted living facilities. Go choose it, and you can click on these to kind of see what they're about. Again, it's just basic setup information. Inside of here, versions is what version of Tag Manager you deployed. You can roll back to previous versions if you want to remove tags, things like that. It'll keep a list and history of everything that you've deployed and when you've deployed them. And then your workspace, this is where you're going to do most of your work at. You have the overview, which is right here. You can easily get to things, new tags, descriptions, workspace changes, what you're currently editing on. And this will kind of all make sense once we kind of dig deeper into this. Your tags are the things that are being fired onto your website, right? So again, this will kind of make more sense once we start creating. Triggers are what trigger the tags to fire. So that's what that's for. Variables are, let's see, basically things that help the triggers and tags know specifically what to do. And folders, just a way to group, because if I have some websites that I have 50 different tags on, schema markup, Facebook, Google AdWords, Google Analytics, it's easy to sort them and to find them. So if I just want to look at all my schema tags, I can see that. All my Google Analytics, I can easily see that. So what we're going to do today is we're just going to set up the basic Google Analytics tag to get that firing on all pages. Now, a benefit of using Tag Manager than, let's say, a plugin for WordPress, right, or any other type of website, CMS website, you want to try to use as least amount of plugins as possible. So this will kind of help you not have to use that to deploy Google Analytics. So what we're going to do, like I said, is just deploy so this fires on every website. So we'll go ahead and log into our Google Analytics account here. Just takes a moment here. Now we already have Google Analytics set up, and I'm going to just assume you already have it set up. If not, I will be probably after the 4-part series show you how to set up analytics. If not, there are many YouTube videos that you can do this on. But what we want is the tracking information, the tracking code. So we want the tracking code right here. And what we're going to do is hit tags and create new. And what do we want to call this tag? You try to label them so you can easily see what they are. So Google Analytics, we'll just call it GA. And we want to do a page view. So we want to see this on all pages. And we're going to do all pages. So if we were going to do this a specific page, like let's say a thank you page, we just hit page and say thank you, So tag configuration. So this is basically saying what type of tag are we going to fire. Here are all the different types of tags you can fire. Google Analytics. This is the classic Google Analytics. Really never going to use this one. It's always going to be the universal analytics. Here you have different AdWords. And again, here's a bunch of different tracking conversions, a lot of e-commerce, third-party softwares and stuff that they have built certain codes for that can be used to fire and stuff through this list. I'm going to be super honest with you. I will probably never touch most of this stuff, but you just never know. Different people with different e-commerce sites, even in different countries, they use different types of software and stuff to help with their data collections and stuff like that. So just take a look. One thing you will notice is you do not see a Facebook one on here. What you use for that, which we'll cover in one of the parts, is custom HTML. So they have you covered there. And this is actually what you use to deploy schema with. Again, we'll cover that in a later video. But we'll go ahead and, like I said, continue with Google Analytics. Click on here. And we want to track what type. We want to have different ones: page views, events, transactions, social, timing. So they have all different ones here. We're going to do a page view. And the variable basically saying what are we going to deploy on page views. And we're going to do new variable. And we're doing this so we never have to do this part ever again. It's a variable that we're setting up, so it'll always be saved for us. And we're going to call this Google Analytics tracking code. And you click on here in the tracking ID, you paste right in there. You click save. And then now this is saved in here. So anytime you do anything with Universal Analytics, you want to push it to Google Analytics, this GA tracking code will always be inside there. So you never have to put in your tracking number ever again. So we want this triggering. Click on here. And eventually we're going to create a lot of different triggers for specific pages, specific events. So this list is going to be getting pretty long after the different trainings that we do here. But for right now, we want to fire this on all pages. And go ahead and click save. And there we go. We've now created our first tag. What I'm going to do here is just log out. I don't really have to log out, but I'm still going to do it anyways. So now what Google Tag Manager does is, before you actually deploy it, because we haven't actually pushed this out to actually run in the real world yet. Basically, this is sitting off to the side ready to go, but it won't do anything on the website yet. But before you push it out there, what you can do is preview it to see if it works. Now this preview only works in the same browser that you are currently working in. So no one outside of your computer can see these changes until you submit them. So what you want to do is go ahead and hit preview. And this tells you now previewing Workspace, default Workspace, refresh, or you want to leave the preview mode. So what you want to do is go to your website, refresh your website. Just takes a moment here. And at the bottom, you have Google Tag Manager preview mode is shown here. So what this is doing is showing you the different tags that are firing on this page, tags that are not firing. So again, if we had 50 tags right here and not all of them fire on the main page, like a thank you page or a specific product page on e-commerce, they'd be listed right here. You'd only see the ones that are fired on this page. So this kind of goes over what was fired on here. And you have your Google, what we called it, right? Google Analytics page, all pages, universal analytics. Something else you can do is on Chrome browsers, you can get the Tag Assistant by Google. Enable that and go ahead and refresh. What this does is it will tell you that it found two tags. It found the Google Analytics tag and it found the Google Tag Manager. So it is saying that it fired both of these and it can tell it is done correctly. This is really useful if you're not in preview mode and you're on your live site. You can see what tags are being fired, or you can see if anyone else is firing tags through Tag Manager on websites. So just keeping that in mind, you can kind of see what other people are doing and using Tag Manager for and how they're deploying it. So that's pretty basic. We're not going to go dive much deeper today on this video because we just wanted to set it up and kind of explain it. Like I said, this is probably my favorite product that Google offers. I mean, analytics is great. It offers a lot of information for your website, but what Tag Manager does is it makes that information on Google Analytics, it makes it more accessible. It separates that data to better understand what is going on your website, right? So we're going to dive deeper in the next video about how to set up for YouTube, outbound links, inbound links, send it up for specific pages, kind of get in depth more of how that works. And then in one of the later videos, we're going to show you Facebook Pixel. And then on the last series, we're going to go over schema. Schema is something that I really suggest people do, but we're going to cover that later. So next video, like I said, YouTube videos, how to track YouTube videos, specific pages, and outbound links. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more, go ahead and hit subscribe. Go ahead and hit the like button if you found this useful, and we'll see you later, guys.